personal. Envious asks, you put most of your time into Kotaku, but we want to know if you yourself are in fact a fan of otaku. If so, which games and manga are your favorite?
It's funny because I write about video games, which is a fantastic job and I love it, but it really does consume me. I mean, I work, it's like 10 o'clock here right now, and I started at 5 this morning. So, I mean, it's not unusual for me to work 12 or 13 hours a day. I post from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., but I tend to go in, I technically start at 7 a.m. just to look at things, but I usually get in at 5 or 6. And then I'll hang around afterwards, and then I have games I have to play to review, and that obviously takes a long time. So it's really hard to differentiate between what I do for a living and what I do for fun. I do like video games, that's why I got into it. And I try to play games for fun, but a lot of times there's not like me to do that. When I do have, I don't have to do anything, I tend to fall back on reading books. I read a lot of books when I have the chance. A little bit of manga. I like sci-fi movies. I'm a little bit into anime, but not as much as I used to be when I was younger.
Now, we've recently seen you guys adding video blogs to the site, as well as taking out the scoring system in some of your reviews. What other things are we going to see on Kotaku that sets you guys apart from the ever-growing competition, I should say, that you guys are having in the blog sphere?
Well, yeah, our reviews, we're going to continue doing those, of course. We're trying to make our video blogs more regular. Right now we're doing one a month, and because of our format, and because we try to always have developers in our video podcasts, it's a bit of a challenge. So sometimes they're later. And, I'm trying to set it up so that we always have them in the middle of the month so they become more regular. We just recently unveiled previews, which are formatted a little bit like our reviews. And they're supposed to sort of show the progression of a game over time, how it progresses from one preview to the next. Because one of the challenges in writing about a video game is that, and I'm sure you guys know this, you keep playing the game, over and over again over like 6 months or a year. And there's not a lot of new stuff to say. So instead of focusing on what we saw in the game, we're going to focus a little bit more on what changes from one build to the next to kind of highlight the fact that it's moving. So that's one thing. Another thing I'm trying to kick back into existence is critiques. We've only ever done one of these before, and it was on BioShock 2 and objectivism. And I wrote that last March right before GDC, and it went over really well. I am actually writing one. I should have written it already, but I keep putting it off. I've already done all the interviews for it, where I talk about how the Montessori education system influenced Will Wright's design choices in Spore. So all the interviews are done. I spoke with the president of Montessori International here in the U.S. About Spore and about Montessori, and I spoke with Will Wright. And I'm working on that to turn it into a critique that's going to should run Monday. So we'll be doing more of those. What else? I shouldn't even mention this because I just don't have time to do it, but I really like the Game Club, which I revived it once. We did it a long time ago, and then I did another one for Beyond Good and Evil. But it takes so much time. It's really hard for me to do it right now. I'd like to bring it back, but I think it's going to probably be a little while.
Great. And so we do just have one final question, and I'm sure that all of the people tuning into this right now, as well as ourselves, I got to ask you, what game is on the Midway arcade machine behind you?
Okay. So, sorry, I have to look. Robotron, Defender, Sinistar, Timber, which, by the way, is awesome. Bubbles, Joust, Rampage,
Wow.
Wizard of War, Satan's Hollow, Defender 2, Splat, and Root Beer Tapper. My brother bought it for me. It's actually not a full cabinet. It's on top of something. It's a bar top cabinet. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I love that it has group beer tapper.
No,
Isn't
root
that
beer
even?
tapper.
Oh, I thought you said group beer.
No, root beer tapper.
Same thing, right?
I'll get you the rum.
I know. I've heard of it. Yes, I know.
I'll get you the rum.
And
It's
now
okay.
I know that the entire room right now is completely bashing me. Speaking of the room, I know that we have one more question from the room. So, VK, what do you got over there?
All right. Justin, or the Justin, says, do you feel that the video game industry is moving at a more rapid pace than last year?
Can you, I think he's still there. Can you ask him, what does he mean in the sense of more rapid? Like in developing games, or like in what sense?
I think it's just game development in general.
You know, I don't know. I think in some ways that's almost an illusion. I mean, take Call of Duty, for instance, which I think a lot of people might look at as an example of how development has shortened. You know, they do this leapfrogging of developers, where they have two different developers working on Call of Duty, so they can come out with one every year. And then you have games like Guitar Hero, where they're coming out with different iterations, and you know, the Beatles Rock Band, which is essentially Rock Band. So I don't know if they're working faster, or maybe they're working smarter, or maybe they're really good at disguising the fact that they keep selling us the same game.
Well, great. And I guess, unfortunately, I'm sorry, that is about all the time that we have. Thank you so much for swinging by, Brian, and please come back anytime you want to chat with us. We absolutely love having you on, and keep doing what you're doing with Kotaku.com.
I'm a huge fan.
As
I go to
am
the site
yeah.
every day. It's where I get most of my news. So keep it up,
Cool.
guys. I'll see you guys on Kotaku.
All right, thanks. Take
Thanks,
care.
Brian. All right.
And don't you guys go anywhere, because in the very next break, we are going to have our review of
Zombie!
Resident Evil 5, and then later in the show, we're going to find out just exactly how that gaming razor does, if it makes you a better gamer or
Yeah,
not.
you look smoother. I'm noticing
Do I?
that.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
got a little bit of a smoothness going on.
Well, I'm working on it.
Nice.
I'm slowly becoming a better gamer, as you guys will find out when LAGtv continues.